everyone, welcome to day 6 of the Uplift here at Sunlight Yoga Center. And I have a friend with me today. This is Allyson. She's going to be demoing the poses that we're going to walk through today. So you don't need any props. We're going to do primarily a floor sequence. So just grab a mat, have a comfortable place to lay down on your floor, make sure your cat's not sitting on your face, and we will get started. Remember to press pause if you need to collect all your things, and then we'll start playing again. You ready? Here we go. So I'm going to have you start like Allyson is. She's laying on her back with her knees bent and her feet to the floor. We're going to start with a low back release. So have a breath in, and as you breathe out, press your low back down into the floor. Now this is a small and subtle move. You're likely not going to see a lot of action here. As you inhale, you're going to release that. As you exhale, you press your low back down into the floor. You're going to go at your own pace, breathing in and out as you go. So essentially most of us have a little bit of a curve on our low back, on our lumbar, and we're pressing that curve down into the floor. Nice and easy. You go slow. Let's do 2 more. And then release. You're going to bring your spine to neutral. Keep your left knee bent with your left foot to the floor and straighten your right leg along the floor. Now inhaling, I'll have you lift your right leg only to 30 degrees. So up a little bit of the way. Your arms can be wherever they're most comfortable, by your side or on your belly or above your head. Have a breath in. And as you breathe out, your leg's going to come to 60 degrees. So a little bit more. It doesn't really matter if it's at 60 degrees. It was lower. Now it's coming a little higher. Have a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to take that leg up to as close to 90 degrees as you can get it. Nice long breath. From here, I'm going to have you rotate your right ankle, so do some ankle circles. And it doesn't matter which way they go, but make sure at some point you're going both to the left and to the right, or clockwise and counterclockwise. Let's bring the ankle back to center. Bend your right knee, bring your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. So this is a pose called Figure 4. This is definitely designed to be a bit of a hip stretch. So I'm going to give you a lot of variations, and as we go, you're going to pick whichever variation is best for you. And this is the first one. You can stay here. If you want to add a little bit of pressure, you're going to, without your hands, press your right knee away from your torso. If this feels okay and your body's giving you all sorts of good signals, you can intensify this. So know every suggestion I give from here on out will make the stretch more intense. You're going to choose the intensity that you want. If you would like to lift your left foot off the floor, you can. Again, no hands, so that we're just using the strength of the hip, the glutes, and the legs to make that happen. If you're comfortable here and you want to move that left knee around a little bit, you can pull it in a little closer. You can take it out further away from you so you can pulse in and out. You could do circles if you wanted to. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to hold here. Nice, long, easy breath. And especially with these hip poses, if you happen to be grinding your teeth on the back side of your jaw, relax your jaw and relax your tongue. Hold for 1 more breath, and then release, and we're going to lower that left foot to the floor. Right leg comes back up towards the ceiling, and then with as much control as you can muster, you're going to lower that right leg down to the floor. Nice and slow. Paying attention to your breath. And when that right leg hits the floor, you take a moment and pause, and then switch sides. As you switch sides, the left knee or the left leg is straight and the right knee is bent and right foot is to the floor. Make any adjustments that you need for your hips or your shoulders. Shimmy or move if that feels good to you. And then on your next exhale, you're going to lift that left leg to 30 degrees. Make sure you're breathing. It's easy to hold your breath in positions like this. On your next exhale, let's bring that left leg to 60 degrees, so it's coming up a little bit further. Hold for one more breath here. On your next exhale, let's bring the left leg all the way up to the top, so coming to 90 degrees. From here, let's start rotating that left ankle. Make sure you rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise so that you've got full rotation for both in the ankles. The ankles are such an underutilized joint and they control so much, right? They actually manipulate how your entire body moves on your feet. So show your ankles a little bit of love. Rotate both directions. Do one more and then pause. Bring that left ankle back to center. We're going to bend the left knee and bring your left ankle now to the top of your right thigh. And here is my now and always pep talk for everybody when we're talking about hip stretches, right? So if your hips feel differently from one side to another, congratulations, you are like 100% of other people. We are all asymmetrical. So if your sensation is different from one side to another, that's really normal. Don't worry about it. You're going to choose what's best for you on this side. If you want to, without your hands, press that left knee away from you, you can. If that feels okay, you can lift the right foot off the floor. So again, this is going to make it more intense. And maybe you don't want to do this on this side. Maybe it was okay on the last side and it's not okay on the inside, on this side. You have that choice today, right? So you're going to choose what's best for you. If that right foot is off the floor and you want to pulse the right knee in or take it away, you're welcome to do that. You can do circles if you want to. Maybe this is the side that feels so much freer. You can do whatever you want to on this side. That's great. Just make sure you're doing what this side of your body needs. If you've lifted the right foot off the floor, let's release and put the right foot down on the floor and straighten the left leg up towards the ceiling. Have a breath in, and as you breathe out slowly and with a whole lot of control, you're going to lower that left leg down to the floor. So a lot of times when people are trying to strengthen joints, they're much more focused on how much weight they can lift up and down. Like you'll see people who have ankle weights and they'll do something similar to this. I am much more interested in how much you can control the movement, because that's really the money. You want to control your joints for as long as possible. Once your left leg is to the floor, you straighten both legs, let your feet roll out, and have a rest. Let's add a twist to this before we come to all fours. So I'll have you keep your left leg straight. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Hands are around the right knee or the right thigh, whichever is more comfortable for you. On the exhale, the first thing I'm going to have you do is draw that right knee closer towards you. We're going to stretch the glutes. Remember, that's your tush. We're going to move to a really deep hip flexion with that right hip. Nice long breath. And then we're going to twist. I'll have you now shift so that your left hand is to the outside of your right knee and your right arm is straight out from the shoulder, palm is facing up. On the exhale, whenever that happens for you, you're going to gently shift that right knee across the body, coming towards the left. Does it matter how far the right knee comes? No, it does not. You're going to get the best twist for you today. Inhaling, let's take the right knee back up to the top. An easy way to square your hips off, bring both knees in towards your chest. That'll allow your pelvic floor to recalibrate and your hips to recalibrate. And then we'll switch sides. So you're going to keep that left knee in and straighten the right leg along the floor. Hands around the left knee or the left thigh, whichever's more comfortable for you. And as you exhale, draw that left knee closer towards you. Again, keep your breath calm and focused so we can stretch out the glutes and the hip, getting ready for the twist. Let's shift to the twist now. We're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left arm is out from the shoulder. And on the exhale, we're going to shift that left knee across the body, coming towards the right. Again, you go only as far as is comfortable for you. This is meant to be a stretch and not a strain. All right, inhaling, let's bring the knee back up to the top. Bring both knees in towards your chest and rock from side to side. Now I'll have you roll onto your sides. We're going to come up to all fours. We're going to do cat and cow next, which we've done a couple times this week. We're going to do it again because it's just really nice to move the spine in this way. Your hands are going to be wherever are most comfortable. They can be under the shoulders, but remember you can always take them forward if you want to, if that's more comfortable for you. Breathing in, you're going to tilt your belly button towards the ground, tip your eyes up towards the ceiling. And breathing out, you'll do the opposite. Arch your spine and tuck your chin. You're going to rotate with your own breath, going back and forth, focusing on moving every vertebrae of the spine. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I first started really focusing on this pose, there were some vertebrae that just weren't moving at all. And if you feel like that's you, that's okay. You just keep practicing, do what feels good, be mindful in your movements, and it will come. If it feels good to shift the hips or move a shoulder for you today, you're welcome to do that. You can be creative with your movement. There's so many ways that you can move your spine in this position. And we all move our bodies differently throughout the day, whether it's sitting at a desk or picking up our kids, whatever it is that we're doing, all of those movements have impact on our body. So we're just trying to move around and make our bodies feel really good. Do one more round. And after the next time you exhale, come back to center. So you're in a neutral spine. Generally, we call that a fairly flat back. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. You're going to tuck your toes under and lift your hips up. Now remember, your feet can be as wide apart as you need them to be. So if you take them as wide as the mat and that feels good, you're still doing down dog, so don't worry about it. The same rules apply for your fingers. Depending on how your wrists are, it might make sense for you to point your fingers forward, but it also might make sense for you to fly your fingers out to the side a little bit to alleviate some of that wrist tension. That's okay too. Again, you're not cheating. There's nothing wrong with that. You just want to make your joints as comfortable as they can be. Legs are nice and strong, stretching out the spine. See, this is why Allison's here, because she has such a nice down dog, so I can show you.
What?
You do, you have a nice down dog.
I do.
Easy breath. and then let's release. Let's come down, and rest is going to happen on your back today. We have one more pose and then relaxation. Take a few minutes and rest. Our last pose before relaxation is reclined deer pose. So with knees bent and feet to the floor, I'm going to have you scoot your feet as wide as your mat. If you're not using a mat, that's about 2 feet and a couple inches, so wider than your hips for sure. Your arms can be wherever they are most comfortable. They don't come into play so much here. And on the exhale, you're going to drop both knees to the right side. Does not matter how far down your knees come. You're just shifting your hips and moving your knees. Inhaling, let's shift the knees up to the top. And exhaling, we go the other way. Nice long breath. Inhaling, let's bring the knees back up to the top, and let's get ready to relax. Now remember, relaxation can look differently for different people. If you prefer to relax with your legs straight, you're welcome to do so. That's more of the traditional yoga relaxation. But for some of us, our low backs don't like that. And if that's you, you can bend your knees. And if it works for you, you take your feet wider than your hips, drop your knees and inner thighs together so that it's no effort to keep your knees bent. Here's what you want to focus on. We're focusing on resetting and starting again. Yesterday we talked about the dip, right? Like that natural downturn that happens sometimes when we're on an upward trajectory. Sometimes things just get harder for a little bit, but it's good to reset, start from a better place, and continue going forward. Let your body rest. Now remember, you can relax for as long as you want to. There's no rush here. I'm going to take just a minute and tell you about our journal prompt and our to-do list item for the day. So it's all about nurturing and nourishing yourself today. When we grow, when we choose to grow, we have to feed ourselves first. So I want you to write a little bit in your journal today about what nourishes you. The thing is, most of us already know. We already have those things that we know make us feel good. Most people will tell me, I love to be out in nature. And if that's you, write about it. If you like to do something else, maybe you like to get a pedicure, take a nice bath, those things all count. Whatever it is that you do to fill yourself up is what you're going to write about today. And guess what your to-do list item is? Go do one of those things. Fill your well and nourish yourself. There is a second optional to-do list as well, so I'm giving you two options. Make sure you nourish yourself, but also remember a few days ago when we did our social media exfoliation, when we got rid of all those things on social media we didn't want to see anymore so that you had control over what was going through your news feed. I want you to go back again and revisit your news feed. If you didn't do all of your social media apps, pick a different one and do that today. Get rid of the the crap. Get out of the groups that you don't use. Stop following the businesses that you don't want to follow. Stop following the friends that are posting the things that make you feel sad, confused, or angry. There's enough of that going on in the world. You can choose what you see, especially if you're trying to get your head in a better space. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but tomorrow is our last day together. So thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 7. Bye.